Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala khayri khalqillahi Muhammad bin Abdullah. If you are holding Al-Quran Al-Kareem, start with the verse 55, number 55 of Surat An-Nur, whereby Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَيَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ كما استخلف الذين من قبلهم. What does that really mean? Is that Allah has promised us, the believers, that we will inherit the land. Some scholars said it's Ardu Makkah. Some scholars said not only the land of Makkah, but we will expand. And exactly this what happened. Islam started in Mecca, went to Medina, then they opened Syria, they went Baghdad, they went Egypt, and it spread to Africa. It went to where? To Europe. All of this is the promise from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. كَمَا اسْتَخْلَفَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِ. Just like the other ones were also given the promise of the inheritance. Who are those? Bani Israel. Okay? Bani Israel, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, be patient and you will inherit the land of Egypt. And this what happened. The pharaohs were destroyed and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them the land. كما استخلف الذين يعني بني إسرائيل. Of course, قال ولا يبدلنهم دينهم ولا يبدلنهم, right? ولا يمكنن لهم دينهم الذي ارتضى لهم, and he will make it allow for them the deen that he gave us, which means Islam will be allowed to practice your faith. Okay? وهو الدين إن الدين عند الله الإسلام. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it possible for us to practice our own deen. قال ولا يبدلنهم من بعد خوفهم أمنا. Security will be replaced with the fear will be replaced with what? With security. You remember when Islam first came, it was very scary to be what? To be what? To be a Muslim. If you are a Muslim in Mecca at that time, you have a big problem. And remember, nobody survived nobody was deprived of the punishment of Quraysh. Even Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq, Umar ibn Khattab, everybody suffered, but on a different ways. Some at that time in Mecca, if you have a tribe, you will be saved, and maybe your own tribe will punish you, but not somebody else, because the Arabs used to forge alliances. Let's say if you touch one of us, you touch the whole tribe, and if you touch the whole tribe, the tribe has alliances with other tribes. So touching one person, it will be what? It will be what? Very dangerous. But who is more vulnerable? The most vulnerable are the people who came, they have no tribes in Mecca. They either came like slaves. It's like Bilal coming from Egypt, from Abyssinia, right? From Ethiopia. He has no tribe. You can do whatever to him. Who's going to defend him? Nobody. You see, those were the most vulnerable people. Those who were bought and brought to Mecca. But even Al-Khabbab, so this ayah, it has to do with something that Khabbab said one day. You know, Khabbab said, Prophet, when are we going to be safe? Khabbab used to be on Al-Khabbab ibn al-Arat, one of the Sahaba, right? He used to be owned by a woman. This woman he used to iron his body. Just like you iron what? The clothes. He will he will put the iron on his body. Imagine that. And Khabbab one day he came, Prophet, when are we going to be safe? When are we going to leave the weapon and just live a normal life? Prophet said, a day will come that is going to happen. That you will leave Yemen to Hadramaut. You're not afraid of anything. Nothing will happen to you. You are safe. All you are afraid of is the wolf, maybe, against your sheep. They say. But he said, we as human, we just want things to be what? Very quick. And this one also is a glad tidings. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us this what? This glad tidings. قال وَلَيُبَدِّلَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ خَوْفِهِمْ أَمْنًا. And it's a matter of what? Security, even if you have wealth, if you don't have security, you'll never sleep. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لِإِلَافِ قُرَيْشٍ إِلَافِهِمْ أَهِلَةَ الشِّتَاءِ فَلْيَعْبُدُوا رَبَّ الَّذِي أَطْعَمَهُمْ وَآمَنَهُمْ مِنْ خَوْفٍ. Quraysh was peaceful. And peace is something very, very important for the stability and the tranquility of a person's life. You see? Okay. Now, قال يعبدونني لا يشركون بي شيئا. Subhanallah. Then the condition here is that you worship Allah and you do not associate anything to Him. وَمَنْ كَفَرَ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمْ الْفَاسِقُونَ. Whoever disobeys Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after that, قال فَأُولَٰئِكَ بِهَذِهِ النِّعَمِ. Allahu Akbar. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you all those ni'mah, you have al-Islam as a ni'mah, you have security as a ni'mah, wallahi, you are a kafir. Because when you deny the ni'mah of Allah, that is a هذه كفر النعمة. That's also, it's a way of kufr. It's a kufr. قال ألم تر إلى الذين بدلوا نعمة الله كفرا وحلوا قومهم دار البوار. This is one of the glad tidings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to us. And I don't think this ayah is only pertaining those who used to live at that time. He will help us again. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Islam gets through a lot, but it always bounces back. Okay, it comes back. Okay, this is why he came. قال يعبدونني لا يشركون بي شيئا, which means if we go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will help us. قال إن تنصروا الله ينصركم. This is why after this ayah he comes and say what? وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة وأطيعوا الرسول لعلكم. Now remember, أقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة. These two jobs, they are twins. إقام الصلاة وإيتاء الزكاة. This is why when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away, and Quraysh, some of the Arabs, they, as we told you, they left Islam. They left Islam. They went back to, people by their nature, they want to do the thing that doesn't tell them to do, to what? Not to do anything, right? They want to be what? This is the problem. They left Islam. Some of them didn't leave Islam. But they said, we're not going to pay zakat. And some of the tribes, people came out of some of the tribe and said, we are prophets. You know, almost five of them. Even you have women among them. Okay, you see, قال يعبدونني لا يشركون بي شيئا. قال وأطيعوا الرسول. أطيعوا الرسول. Obey the prophet. Obey the messenger. Sometimes people will say, well, Quran is enough. No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the Sunnah and Prophet to explain what? Al-Quran al-Karim. That's why I say, وَأَطِيعُوا الرَّسُولَ لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ. So what do you get the rahmah? You get it from obeying who? Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi. Now look at this connection. قال لا تحسبن الذين كفروا معجزين في الأرض. A kafir will never slip away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometimes you feel like this man who disobeys Allah, who does all of these sins, that hey, maybe he will get away with it. لا. قال لا تحسبن الذين كفروا معجزين. They will not. قال ووعد بالنصرة. It also a promise of a victory from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قال ومأواهم النار. Their dwelling is going to be Jahannam wal iyazu billah. لا تحسبن whatever kafir does, don't be surprised, don't be upset. You have to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will get him somehow. لا تحسبن الذين كفروا معجزين في الأرض ومأواهم النار ولبئس المصير. He didn't even say وبئس المصير. قال ولبئس المصير. What a worst place to be. If you torture people, you kill them, you lie, and all of a sudden Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, okay, it's fine, but I'm going to get you. Inna rabbaka labil mirsad. Then you end up in Jahannam for what? For what you have done to innocent people. What a worst place to be. Now think about that, because whatever you are doing, think about what it's going to entail. What are the consequences of your behavior? Now, ولذلك يقول القاضي الماوردي صاحب الأحكام السلطانية يقول لك أمور الدنيا كلها آيلة إلى الآخرة. Everything that we do in dunya will end up where? In al-akhirah. That's very important. Everything we do, either good or what? Or bad, will end up where? Why don't you try to think what is your account in al-akhirah? أمور الدنيا كلها آيلة إلى الآخرة. This is very important. A human being should not have only his calculations about dunya. Oh, if I do this, I'm going to be a president. I'll be a governor. I'll be a senator. But what you are doing is not what? It's not good. قال أمور الدنيا كل أمور الدنيا آيلة إلى الآخرة. الأيلولة. It's all going to end in al-akhirah. Now, all of this, we went a little bit back because the students were yeah, we went back a little bit because you guys were dragging your feet, right? Today, it's not Sheikh Yusuf who told us to go back. It's simply because people were dragging there, they're not coming early. Okay, now let's go. قال لا تحسبن الذين كفروا معجزين في الأرض. This word is a big concern. Whatever you do, remember you're not slipping away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. والله حتى هذه الآية تكفي وعيد. قال ومأواهم النار لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. They're going to end up in Jahannam. That's why in one of the ayah in Surat Al Imran, what did it say? قل للذين كفروا ستغلبون وتحشرون إلى جهنم you will be defeated and you will end up in Jahannam. And whoever helps the wrongdoer, you will end up with him in Jahannam. Waliyaz billah. Let's say the battle, what that's happened now in whoever helps the wrongdoer, the killer, if he goes to Jahannam, you're going to Jahannam with him. قال تعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا اليهود والنصارى أولياء بعضهم أولياء ومن يتولهم منكم فإنه منهم إن الله لا يهدي. Not even this ayah, but قال في سورة النساء إن الله جامع الكافرين والمنافقين في جهنم جميعا. This is why the scholar said is one of the reasons to become a kafir, although you pray, that you support somebody against what? Against a Muslim. كافر أنت كافر رغم كونك تصلي هذه أسباب الخروج عن الدين. الموالاة. It's a very serious matter. You see, we found these people, they say something and they do something what? Something else. What Israel does is unacceptable. People are dying, but you're helping them. Forget about any. You are a Muslim. Think about that. And for what? Subhanallah. قال تعالى لا تحسبن الذين كفروا معجزين في الأرض ومأواهم النار ولبئس المصير. After that, this surah is always very familiar with the hukum that it teaches us. قال يا أيها الذين آمنوا ليستأذنكم الذين ملكت أيمانكم. This is another hukum. Because this ayah, this surah is famous with what? You know, the way that Allah organizes our behavior. Wallahi, this is why a lot of scholars, they wrote a book about two surah. Al-ayatu fi suratay al-hujurat wa Surat An-Nur wal-hujurat. Surat An-Nur wal-hujurat. If you take hujurat, the way we have to deal with people, يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا يسخر قوم من قوم لا ترفعوا أصواتكم فوق صوت النبي. يا أيها الذين this one also يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تدخلوا بيوتا غير حتى تستأنسوا. That ayah is connected to this. It's talking about public. لا تدخلوا بيوتا غير. It's talking about everybody. But within your house, you have some people who need a special ruling. Those are we're talking about. لِيَسْتَأْذِنُكُمُ الَّذِينَ مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ. مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ could be your slave and your maid, people who are under your possession. مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ. They have to get your permission. The scholar said at that time, in those days, they didn't have the doors like we have the doors now. You can close the door. Maybe they have curtains, and one day a man came to Sayyidina Umar, and Umar was sleeping. He just called Umar, and he just burst in. He just went inside. And sometime after Dhuhr or before Fajr, usually people have their own what? Their own what? They, when people dress, they don't dress. When they sleep, we have night gowns, right? Night gown, right? It's pajamas, and it's not like it doesn't protect all your body because you want to relax and sleep. Okay, people don't have to come and get in like that. قال الذين ملك, you have to come and knock at the door. ملكت أيمانكم, those that under your care, so that nobody will say, well, I live here, he's my boss. No. قال ملكت أيمانكم والذين لم يبلغوا الحلم منكم, and those who are not mature. I mean, kids. A child should learn from that time that if you want to get in, let's say the room of your parent, that you should what? You should knock at the door. قال ثلاث مرات, but 3 times are more crucial. These are the time mostly people try to relax. They try to rest. They try to sleep. قال ثلاث مرات. The first one, من قبل صلاة الفجر, before Fajr time. Before Fajr time. Fajr time, before Fajr time, if you get into somebody, you have to knock. قال وحين تضعون ثيابكم من الظهيرة, and when you are trying to take your clothes off at Dhuhr time. And this I will show that having a little rest after Dhuhr is what? Is good for your health. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not mention this just like that, right? وَحِينَ تَضَعُونَ ثِيَابَكُم مِّنَ الظَّهِيرِ. وَمِن بَعْدِ صَلَاةِ الْعِشَاءِ. Salat al-Isha also, when people pray Isha, most likely they want to rest for at a certain time. And we also learn that after Isha, a Muslim doesn't stay until 2 a.m. in the morning. And then what? You wash a hulu and necklace and I don't even know what these things are. I know that they are programs. No, a Muslim after Isha just go to bed. The earlier you get to bed, the earlier you can wake up. But if I go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, am I going to wake up at 5? No. You see? And as we learn from the Sunnah, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that he used to go to bed very early. And going to bed early is healthy. It's very healthy. قال وجعلنا الليل الليل لللباس. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says this, you have to know every component of it. Even the body, when it gets dark, the body knows that it is what? It is dark. And it conforms with it. قال ومن بعد صلاة وحين تضعون ومن بعد صلاة العشاء ثلاث عورات لكم. These are the time, subhanallah, these are the time when they are coming in, they have to knock at the door. قال ليس عليكم ولا عليهم جناح بعدهن طوافون عليكم بعضكم على بعض. After that, they don't have to knock at their door. Because usually these people we are talking about, they live within your midst. They live in the house. Okay? كذلك يبين الله لكم الآيات والله عليم. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains his verses for you. Wallahu alimun hakim. Then he comes to something very important. قال والقواعد من النساء. Huh? I'm sorry. وإذا بلغ الأطفال منكم الحلم فليستأذنوا كما استأذن الذين من قبلكم. قال when the kids they mature, they have to seek permission come as those people did before. قال كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته والله عليم حكيم. And the scholar said about this ayah, قالوا واجب على الناس, it is become incumbent on everyone أن يستأذنوا, when you are getting to someone's house, to seek permission. إذا احتلموا, when you become what? When you mature. أحرارا كانوا أو عبيدا, doesn't matter, you are a slave or you are a free person. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, this is how I explain my verses to you. Okay? It's like, now what is the connection between this ayah and the first ayah? The first ayah is talking about 3 times, right? But this one is talking about what? The general time. All of the time. Okay? A child who's not a mature doesn't have to seek permission at all the time. But at this particular time, he has what? ثلاث عورات لك. But when they mature, then that is a time all the time. This is what I think. Because it doesn't make sense to talk about the kids twice if there's no difference, right? قال وإذا بلغ الأطفال منكم الحلم فليستأذنوا كما استأذن الذين من قبل. There was a companion who came to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, Prophet, I serve my mother. Do I have to seek permission when I'm getting in? He said, yes. He said, but I serve him. He said, seek permission. And he insisted. And Prophet tried to teach him the way to stop everything. قال أتحب أن تراها عريانة? Do you want to see your mother naked? He said, no. Can he go beyond that? He wouldn't go. The Prophet said, hey, try to seek permission before you get it. But the guy's ruling was, I keep going back and what? Back and forth. Subhanallah. Prophet said, try to seek permission. And what do you have to lose? They say, can I get it? Somebody will say, wait, maybe he's trying to dress up, right? But he said, no. He wanted to have a free pass. Just come and get in. Subhanallah. You'll find somebody he's not dressed. And maybe they are your parents. Do you want to see them in a certain way? No. قال أتحب أن تراها عريانة? قال لا. I said no. Do you want to see him in a certain way? So I said no. Then seek permission. Now, this ayah itself, والقواعد من النساء. ما هي القواعد؟ قال قواعد وكان the women who are very old. They're not attractive anymore. Because remember, when people get so old, subhanallah, they're not attractive, to be honest with you. Even if she was beautiful before. That's why we have a saying in our Mandingo. He said, when a grandchild sees his grandmother, he said, oh, I can't believe my grandfather married what? Married this woman. Because he will see her very, very old. And Sharia gave them, we could say, قال فليس عليهن جناح أن يضعن ثيابهن. They can even dress in a certain way that a girl does not dress with. Let's say, for example, hijab, the girls cover her face and put the gloves in, right? The old woman doesn't have to do that. I mean, the face, you can leave the face. The hand can leave it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you a little something to aid, because you are no longer a fitna. وَالْعِبْرَةُ بِالْمَقَاصِدِ. You are no longer what? A fitna. But even that, قال وأن يستعففن. Subhanallah, why? وأن يستعففن خير لهن. Even if you dress with all of this, you dress properly, you dress like a woman, a girl, is better for you. I think about this high a lot. I say, why? It's simply because maybe you have a grandchildren, a granddaughter, you're trying to what? To raise. And if she finds you dress well, she knows that this is how women what? وأن يستعففنا هذا على الجواز قال خير لهن. It will be good for you in terms of educating your children and maybe bringing the new generation who have, because if a woman comes and a girl sees her mother dress well, she will what? She'll dress well. But if the mother is not dressed well, what do you think she's going to do? No, she doesn't even know that hijab is what? It happened here once. A girl had a dispute. The history is very long. It happened on 96th Street. There was a masjid on 96. This girl had a problem with her father. Because you have some families here, when they come, they don't care. They only look for money. In the morning, hi, kids are going to school. As long as kids are going to school, they are what? For them, they are what? They are fine. And the man works, the woman works, and kids, they had 2 children. So all of a sudden, this girl came one day and said, hey, tell her father, listen, I have somebody I want to marry. So what is that person? He's not a Muslim. He's not a Muslim. And now the father will be rushing to the masjid. They think that human beings, we are like a car. When the car breaks down, you go and change the parts. The car what? No, that's not how it works. There are no quick fixes for human being. It has to start a little by little, and sometimes it's too late. So he said, Imam, I have problems. What is that? My daughter wants to marry non-Muslim, kafir. Imam said, okay, go bring your daughter. And MashaAllah, she came to the masjid. She has a mini jeep. A mini what? A mini jeep. How we call it? Mini skirt. Imam said, hey! Said, Imam, what's wrong? Said, Mom, my daughter, you see how he dressed? He said, my father bought this for me. My father bought this for me. And she was very articulate. She didn't lose her temper, everything. And she said, well, my father, when he wakes up, is going to his business. My mother, the same thing. They leave us on the... Now, I found somebody I want to marry, and he said, no, but I'm going to marry this guy. You like it or what? Or not? And his brother also was drinking a lot. So both of the kids are what? They're gone. Yeah, this happens a lot to many, many families here. They come to the country and they forget where they're coming from. All they think is America, we have to make money. They think they are very successful. It's not. If you lose your family, you are not successful. If you lose your family to the kufr, you are not successful. Don't listen to Pinnacle and they say somebody is very successful. He was a Muslim and all of a sudden he became what? Kafir, he has everything. No, it doesn't make sense. قال وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى. Some people think when they have stocks, they have companies, they have houses, that they are successful. And that's how they lose their children. And that was the end of the story. Very, very sad story. But this happens a lot. You see a lot of this. So a woman has to dress well, even if you're old, because you are raising a child. قال وأن يستعففن خير لهن والله سميع عليم. You see, I told you before, the word سميع عليم is a what? Is what? غفور رحيم is good. But سميع عليم is what? It's a warning. I hear what you say, and I see what do you do? It's a warning. قال فإن عزموا الطلاق فإن الله قال ماذا قال فإن الله سميع عليم. فإن عزموا الطلاق فإن الله سميع عليم. The what? No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Wallahu sami'un alim. Your behavior, I mean, here, now it's a warning. That's why scholars said here, لأن الرسول يقول أبغض الحلال إلى الله. هذا الحديث صحيح رغم أنه جاء في سنن أبي داود. This hadith أبغض الحلال إلى الله الطلاق is hadith صحيح, although it didn't come in Sahih Bukhari and Muslim. He said the halal that Allah doesn't like at all is what? Is divorce, especially the one who instigates divorce. I mean, you take people's girl, you know everything about her, she did nothing wrong, and all of a sudden you don't want her. وكيف تأخذونه وقد أفضى بعضكم إلى وأخذنا منكم ميثاقا غليظا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said ميثاقا غليظا. What do you know about this woman? Nobody knows about her. What her husband knows about that woman, nobody knows about her. Even her parents. It's something very, very serious. And what she knows about you too. So talaq has to become within certain limits. If you see life is impossible, but don't play with it. This is why Umar bin Khattab, when you get angry and you say, I'm divorcing my wife 3 times, he will make it what? 3 times. You get mad and you say to your wife, you are divorced 3 times. It is 3 times for Umar. I mean, she's not coming back to you after that. Prophet Muhammad never did that. If you divorce your wife, you get angry, you say, I'm divorcing you 3 times, it will be counted as what? This is what I believe. This is what I also support. Because when people get angry, they say what? They say anything, right? When they get angry, they say, I don't want you anymore. No, take it one and give them the opportunity. Only Sharia does that. In any other law, the human law, when you divorce once, and what? And the paperwork is what? It's over. No, Sharia will give you 3 times, 3 opportunities. You divorce your wife. This time, Sharia will not say it's okay. Maybe go and reconsider. And you bring her back again. You divorce her again. Sharia will say, be very careful. You have only one opportunity. Don't divorce her 3rd time. If you divorce her 3rd time, he will make it very difficult for you. فإن طلقها فلا تحل له حتى تنكح زوجا غيره. If you divorce 3rd time, you say, okay, You're playing with divorce. Now, this woman will never be allowed to you until she goes and marry what? Somebody else. And I think that's even better than saying to somebody, "Hey, divorce is once." Sometimes people they get sorry for what they have done. How to correct that? Sharia will give you many ways. This is why Sharia, subhanallah, even if you divorce your wife today, God forbid, there's a period, the grace period, what we call iddah. That's the time the woman stay with you for 3 months in your house. لا تخرجهن من بيوتهن ولا يخرجن. And within that, you are spending on her. You see her all the time, and maybe your heart will be what? Will be softened, and you'll bring her back what? Again, look at that. This happens a lot. That is the hikmah. But in other laws, I don't want you. It's over. Go. Or I go, and the next day they have the appointment is a courthouse. We're trying to no. Then all of a sudden you become la. Sharia is made by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah, but this is Allah through the qala sami'un alim. Now we have a different ayah here. قال ليس على الأعمى حرج ولا على الأعرج حرج ولا على المريض حرج. Why? What is the relationship here? They said, some scholars said that this is totally different from the other ones that we are talking about. It's a new topic. Because in those days, the Arab had two problems. When somebody, al-a'ma is a blind. Al-a'raj is the one who walks. How you say that? It's a handicap. The limbs. Handicap and what? Al-a'raj, maybe he has a feet, he has a foot, but the foot doesn't work much. That was a cripple. A cripple is a very strong word. Now, وَلَا عَلَى الْمَرِيضِ حَرَجٍ, and the one who is sick. You know, the group of people we just mentioned, people would not share food with them. They themselves in Jahiliyyah, they will be embarrassed sitting with other people to what? To eat. فقال تعالى ليس على الأعمى حرج ولا على الأعرج حرج ولا على المريض ولا على أنفسكم أن تأكلوا من بيوتكم. You can eat in your house, and all of this that he mentioned, أو بيوت آبائكم. قال أو بيوت. These are the houses that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed us to eat in. بيوتكم أو بيوت آبائكم, your father's house, أو بيوت أمهاتكم, your mother's house, أو بيوت إخوانكم, your brother's house, أو بيوت أخواتكم, your sister's house, أو بيوت أعمامكم. أعمام, they are uncles. They are the brothers of your father's side. أو بيوت عماتكم, also sisters of your father's side. أو بيوت أخوالكم. أخوال, they are aunties. These are the sisters of the brothers and sisters of your father. أو ما ملكتم مفاتحه, or somewhere that you control. Could be a store, it could be a place, but the key is within your hand. Okay? أو صديقكم, or your friend, because sometimes intimacy, the friendship become very, very strong. Like what? Like one family. Okay? All of this, Sharia had to come and organize this for us. And this is why he said, ليس عليكم جناح أن تأكلوا جميعا أو أشتاتا. There is nothing wrong, because some Arabs, They were so generous that they don't eat alone. Unzur. They are so generous that they don't what? They don't eat alone. If they have food, they have to find somebody to share with them. But look how generous it is. And Sayyidina Ibrahim was like that too. Ibrahim, he will have to find somebody to what? A selfish person want to be alone. Doesn't people know? People don't even know that he has food, right? Sitting in a corner and what? And eat by himself. But a generous person will always want to share, especially in those days. So sometimes it's even hard to find a person. كانوا يتحرجون أن يأكلوا أفرادا. Sometimes it is embarrassing for them to even eat once. For them it's a kind of subhanallah. يعني كانت فيهم شحامة وكرم. The Arab were very, very generous. I don't know now, but that time is what? كانت عندهم شجاعة. They used to be very courageous. But we're not talking about the Arabs of today. Today, now, Al-Khalifa, in those days, if you touch one Muslim, the whole Khilafah will be what? Will be one of our Khalifa, you call Al-Mu'tasim. Al-Mu'tasim Billah. Al-Mu'tasim is one of the children of Harun al-Rashid. He fought the Romans because of one single woman. They captured her and she screamed, Wa Mu'tasima. That's how a Muslim should be respected. Yes, one person, whenever you touch the entire Islamic world, should say, hey, this is our concern. Nothing bad should happen to him. This is how people respect you. That's how it is. If we respect one single person as a nation, the rest of the nation will what? Will respect us. Yeah. But you come, mashallah. You kill as much as you can. Not only that, but you are welcome in our countries. Why should they respect you? What are they? So one single Muslim should have the respect of everyone. Even he said, وَلَيْسَ عَلَيْكُمْ جُنَاحٌ أَن تَأْكُلُوا جَمِيعًا أَوْ أَشْتَاتًا. And he solved this problem. We can eat in jama'ah, or we can eat what? Individually. فَإِذَا دَخَلْتُمْ بُيُوتًا. When you get into the house, some people say that this house is masjid, but I think it's far. قال فسلموا على أنفسكم. Whenever you get into the house, do salam to yourself, even if there is nobody there. But if you find your family, say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. And whenever you say that, shaitan will what? Will run away from you. Okay? There's okay. The reason why we don't say it's masjid, because masjid has tahiyatul al-masjid. You come to the masjid has its own what? Its own greeting, right? So what is left? Your house. You come there, there's nobody, say Assalamu alaikum. Whenever you say Assalamu alaikum, shaitan will run away. He said, no, this is not a place for us to. There's one hadith here that I want to. MashaAllah. Yeah, Sheikhna. Now, this is why I want to read this hadith for you. Al-Imam Muslim, أخرج, Sheikh Umar is asking, what do you do? قال إذا ولج الرجل بيته. When you get into your house, فليقل, say, اللهم إني أسألك خير الولوج وخير الخروج. بسم الله ولجنا وبسم الله خرجنا وعلى الله ربنا توكلنا ليسلم على أهل. This is the hadith. Allahumma inni as'aluka khayr al-wuluji. Al-wuluj is coming in. Yuliju layla fi. Wa khayr al-khuruji. When you come in, you're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you khayr when you're getting in and give you khayr when you are. Wallahi, this kind of dua, when you do, you'll have no problem on that day. It's just like when you are going out and you say, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. Fallahu yakla'uka. Yahfaduk. Allah will protect you. Unfortunately, we just go like that. We go like that. I remember a friend of mine, subhanallah, he said he went to, there's a masjid on Eldridge. He went there, and few minutes before Maghrib, he said, no, let me go and work, and I'll come and combine Maghrib and what? And Isha. He made a turn, the police what? They flashed behind him. They gave me what? A ticket. Then he had a spot. Look at that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you a warning. The first time it was Maghrib time, he even found a spot. But Shaitan said, you know what, go work and come a little bit before what? Isha, and you pray Maghrib and Isha together. And he said, subhanallah, now let me go and make Maghrib. He had his, by the time he get there, this little spot is what? Somebody parked there. Yeah. It's always, but when you do something like that, and Allah corrects you on the spot, remember that He loves you. Yes. When you do a mistake and you find a little bit problems, then you have to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قال من أراد الله به خيرا عذبه في الدنيا. Okay. Now, there was another hadith here that I want to. قال إذا لم يكن فيه ساكن يقول السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. If there is no anybody. وإن كان في البيت من ليس بمسلم. If there is a house who is not a Muslim, تقول السلام على من اتبع الهدى. Right? You remember, this is the beginning of the letters of who? Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa. Whenever he writes letters, he starts with what? أما بعد فالسلام على من اتبع الهدى إلى النجاشي عظيم الحبشة السلام على من اتبع الهدى. Okay? أو السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. You can say that. Inshallah. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. And if you think there's somebody there who is not a Muslim, you say Assalamu ala man ittaba'a al-huda. And you make this dua that came in the hadith of what? Al-Imam Muslim from Jabir bin Abdullah. قال اللهم إني أسألك خير الولوج وخير الخروج بسم الله ولجنا وبسم الله خرجنا. Okay? If you say that, Shaitan will have no place to sleep. Okay, he will go. Okay, if you don't do that, subhanallah, he will call his what? He said, we have a place to stay and sleep. And when you come, you ask your wife to bring food, and food also, he didn't say what? Bismillah. Shaitan said, we have food also to eat. Subhanallah, imagine that. You're eating food and Shaitan is what? It's next to you. Subhanallah, we don't see them, but that's how it is. Wal-'iyaz billah. Okay? So it's very important for us. قال فسلموا على أنفسكم تحية من عند الله طيبة مباركة. Just say salam to yourself. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. السلام على من اتبع الهدى. بسم الله ولجنا وبسم الله خرجنا. Okay? نعم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He comes again, coming back to the believers. قال إنما المؤمنون الذين آمنوا بالله ورسوله. The believers are the one who believe in Allah and His what? And His what? And His messenger. وإذا كانوا معه على أمر جامع. ما هو الأمر الجامع؟ وإذا كانوا معه على أمر جامع. الإمام القرطبي said, you have a question? Which ayah? كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته والله عليم لعلكم تعقلون. نعم. نعم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you right. قال تحية من عند الله مباركة طيبة. That's how you know how important this tahiyya is. من عند الله طيبة مها مبارك is blessed and a good one. Because people will say, Subhanallah, why do I have to greet myself? ولكن Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala تحية من عند الله مباركة طيبة. This is how He explained to us so we can understand. لعلكم تعقلون. It makes a lot of sense. Just like the ahadith that says, if you want to prevent shaitan from your house, you have to make this greeting. And whenever the food is brought to you, say also what? Bismillah. All of this is protecting you and also taking shaitan away from your house. Okay? Now, he comes and tell us who is a really true mu'min. قال إنما المؤمنون الذين آمنوا بالله ورسوله. A real mu'min is the one who believes in Allah and His what? His messenger. وإذا كانوا معه على أمر جامع لم يسحبوا حتى يستأذنوا. When something happened, قالوا الأمر الجامع هو ما يحتاج إلى تجمع الناس لإذاعة مصلحة من إقامة سنة في الدين أو لترحيب عدو باجتماعهم وللحروب. قال الأمر الجامع. Let's say we have something very serious here. We need the help of every single Muslim. Now, if I slip away from there without even letting the Prophet know, you think that's a good thing? No. And when something happened that concerned all the Ummah, then if I have excuses, something happens, before I even leave, I will have to come and see the Imam. Imam, I know what we are going through, but wallahi, I have this what? I have this problem. I have to go. لم يخرجوا حتى because Sayyidina Uthman, he didn't go to Badr, you remember? Badr was very غزوة Badr أمر جامع. He didn't go. His wife was sick and there was nobody to take care of what? Of her. هذا أمر جامع. But before you leave, you tell the Imam, I have this emergency and I have to go. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala means. إذا كانوا معه على الأمر الجامع. Anything that will be crucial for the life of Muslims that need the help and cooperation of everyone, if you cannot make it, then come and ask the Imam, hey, I cannot make this, and it has to be something very serious. It could happen sometime. Just like the example I told you about Sayyidina Uthman alayhi salatu wassalam. قال لم يذهبوا حتى يستأذنوا. Now, if somebody comes and asks your permission, قال إن الذين يستأذنونك أولئك الذين يؤمنون بالله Somebody could slip away and go. هو منافق. The one who slip away and what? And go, he's a hypocrite. But the one who comes and asks your permission to go, قال هؤلاء مؤمنون أولئك الذين يؤمنون بالله ورسوله. They believe in Allah. فإذا استأذنوك لبعض شأنهم فأذن لمن شئت منهم. She said, he didn't even say فأذن لهم, because it could be for the reason maybe he's not. He will be lying. Allahu A'lam. Some the munafiqun lied. قالوا إن بيوتنا عورة وما هي بعورة. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will let Prophet Muhammad know if he wants to say, hey, this man deserves to go, this man doesn't deserve to go. قال فأذن لمن شئت منه. فأذن لمن شئت منه. واستغفر لهم الله. And make istighfar for them. Why? Because they are not going to participate in what concerns Muslim at that particular crucial time. That's what it means. Alaykum salam. قال فأذن لمن شئت منهم ولأنهم لا يساحمون استغفر لهم. يعني عن خروجهم عن الجماعة. They will go. Sometimes people live in a very difficult time, but they have to go. قال إن الله غفور رحيم. The best ayah in the Quran الكريم is إن الله غفور غفور رحيم. نعم. قال After that, he comes and tells us لا تجعلوا دعاء الرسول بينكم كدعاء بعضكم بعضا. Don't deal with Prophet the same way you deal with each other. Hey Muhammad, come here. That's like he said in Surat Al-Hujurat. Muhammad, come here. Hey Muhammad. No, that's not how you deal with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I mean, you don't even have to mention by his name, because remember, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never called Prophet Muhammad by his what? By his own name. That's how much he respected Prophet. He will say, Ya Nuh, Ya Ibrahim, Ya Musa, Ya Yusuf, Yaqub. He will call, but when he comes to Prophet, Ya Ayyuha Rasul, Ya Ayyuha An-Nabi, Subhanallah. Look at that respect for this man. He never mentioned Ya Muhammad. Although Prophet Muhammad is his servant, but how much he قال يا نوح إنه ليس من أهلك يا موسى إني اصطفيتك على الناس برسالاتي وبكلامي يا إبراهيم قد صدقت الرؤيا. سبحان الله. But he never say Ya Muhammad. يا أيها الرسول بلغ ما أنزل إليك يا أيها النبي اتق الله ولا تطع الكافرين إن الله كان عليما نعم إن الله كان عليما حكيما. Say, he never mentioned me. If he does not mention him by his name, do we have to mention Prophet Muhammad by his name? No. لا تجعلوا دعاء الرسول or you call, hey Muhammad. Al-Arab used to do that. Until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إن الذين ينادونك من وراء الحجرات أكثرهم لا يعقلون. ما قال هم فاسقون. Because some people they just don't know how to deal with what? With people. So he's warning us. قال يصيح من بعيد يا أبا القاسم بل عظموه. Try to respect Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. قال قد يعلم الله الذين يتسللون منكم لواذا, that he knows those who slip away. They said even munafiqun at the Salat of al-Jum'ah, they what? They slip away and run. Even Salat is longer for them. There are three things that are difficult for munafiqun: Salat al-Fajr, and the Salat al-Jum'ah, and what? And Salat al-Isha. هذا الذي قاله هنا. قد يعلم الله الذين يتسللون منكم لواذا فرارا. They are running away. يلوذ بعضهم ببعض. سبحان الله. قال فليحذر الذين يخالفون عن أمره. Those who disobey Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what will happen to you? أن تصيبهم فتنة. Fitna will happen to you. And this fitna could be anything. You could become a kafir because you disobey him. Just like when you said that Quran is the only one that we have and we don't have what? Sunnah. That's a problem. فَلْيَحْذَرِ يُخَالِفُونَ عَنْ أَمْرِهِ. And you remember when the companions disobeyed him in the Ghazwat Uhud. They got fitna. 70 of the Sahaba were killed in the Ghazwat Uhud. That's a lot. In those days, 70 is what? Is a lot. قال أن تصيبهم فتنة أو يصيبهم عذاب أليم. This one will show you that disobeying the Sunnah, not sticking to the Sunnah, will lead to what? To fitna. It will lead to fitna. A lot of fitna. I remember we had a brother here. Wallahi, he was the best of us. Qari. When we first came here, he was Qari. He knows the Quran al-Karim. But you don't know how somebody is going to end. All of a sudden, we notice that he started to say that not all the hadith is true. Okay? He said 70% of the hadith is not true. That's how he started. Then after that, he came 100% of the hadith is not. That Prophet Muhammad did not, nothing was narrated from him that is true. Then they started criticizing Sahih al-Bukhari and say what? Sahih Muslim. And, but he doesn't stop there. You are in a fitna already. Fitna could be kufr. قال والفتنة أشد من الكفر. Fitna could be خروج أشد من القتل. You see? Then all of a sudden, he said, there's only 2 salats in the Quran. So he prays Fajr and Maghrib. We're talking about Hafiz. That I led the salat with, he taught me some of the tajweed. Wallahi. And it got worse. Worse, every day he will deny something in the Quran al-Karim. He said that tamathil halal. قال تعالى يعمل له ما يشاء من من محارب وتماثيل وجفاء. And whenever he speaks, you just laugh because he doesn't know what he's talking. Listen. If Allah respects you within a certain boundaries, don't go beyond that. The people will know that you are jahil. When he was reciting the Quran al-Karim, mashallah. Then after that, he came out of that. He said, well, there's no sunnah. Everything's in the Quran al-Karim. But you cannot do that. Why? Because sometimes you need the sunnah to explain what? Al-Quran. Now, take this ayah. He said, tamathil, statues are allowed. What is your proof? يَعْمَلُونَ لَهُ مَا يَشَاءُ مِن مَّحَارِيبَ وَتَمَاثِيلَ وَجِفَانٍ كَالْجَوَابِ وَقُدُورٍ اعملوا آل داود. قال that's halal. نقول له لا يا شيخ. That was about the time of Sayyidina who? Sayyidina Sulaiman. And this is what we call in أصول الفقه شرع من قبلنا. شرع لنا إذا كان حلالا في شرعنا. There are laws, is our law, but it has to be what? It has to be allowed in our laws. There's a lot of stuff in the Quran al-Karim like that. But he said, hey, This is Quran, this is Quran. And a lot of stuff. He said, when he started praying, what? 2 times. قال أقم الصلاة لدلوك الشمس إلى غسق. He said all of this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only mentioned 2. So it's going to be Fajr and what? La. A lot of problems. And as a matter of fact, that is not true. Because if you look at Awqatus Salah, we are mentioned in the Quran al-Karim, right? قال فسبحان الله حين تمسون وله الحمد فيه وعشيا وحين تظهرون. Allah mentioned 5 times. Even أقم الصلاة لدلوك الشمس إلى غسق الليل. دلوك الشمس إلى غسق الليل. How many salat is in that? We have 4. دلوك الشمس إلى غسق الليل يعني إلى العشاء. Then only one is left. وقرآن الفجر إن قرآن الفجر كان مشهود. So the guy, and after that he was prohibited from leading the salah in the masajid. They are called al-Quraniyun. They are the one who believe that Quran is enough. And so they got worse and worse. فَلْيَحْذَرِ الَّذِينَ You have them everywhere. Everywhere, even in Africa. And he said you can make Hajj without ihram. You can put your jeans out and there's no miqat, there's nothing. You just go what? والله جهل بشريعة الله. يريد الجهل. قال أنا قال إني أوتيت القرآن ومثله معه. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, I was given the Quran and مثله معه, which is the sunnah of Prophet sallallahu alayhi. لا تخالف أمر الله. If you disobey this, you will get into fitna. And this fitna means a lot. Okay? This man, finally, he prayed Maghrib 2 rak'ah. And people said, did you make a mistake? Say, no, I didn't make a mistake. Maghrib is what? It's 2. And when he first started here, we made a lot of khutbah, almost for 7 months, making khutbah against him. Some people said, well, he's taking everything from Quran, because some people are ignorant. Whenever you bring them, they say, guess what? The man is hafiz. But when he started praying Maghrib 2 rak'ah, and he's praying only once, twice, the followers also, they left him. Yeah. And wallahi, we don't know where he is now. He has totally disappeared. And alhamdulillah for the fact that we don't see him anymore within the community. Okay? Totally changed. So to stick to sunnah is indispensable when it comes to sharia. قال فليحذر الذين يخالفون عن أمره أن تصيبهم فتنة أو يصيبهم and he ended up the ayah قال ألا إن لله ما في السماوات والأرض قد يعلم ما أنتم عليه. Allah knows what we are doing, what we are on. ويوم يرجعون إليه. And even this ayah is a warning. The end of the ayah وَيَوْمَ يُرْجَعُونَ إِلَيْهِ. The time they will go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala فَيُنَبِّئُهُمْ بِمَا عَمِلُوا. Allah will let us know of what we have done. وَاللَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ. Allah knows almost everything. That is the end of Surat An-Nur, and alhamdulillah, that is the end of volume number 12 of Tafsir al-Qurtubi. And inshallah next week we will start Surat al-Furqan. Okay, barakallahu fikum. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. نرجو الله أن يثيبنا ويؤجرنا ما أجر ما تلوناه وأجر ما فسرناه. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward all of us and give us the reward. This is the most important time to listen to Al-Bayan between Maghrib and what? And Isha, according to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the time that we are here now, the Malaika also, they are with us. So this one, even if you learn one verse, Wallahi, the fact that we are inside the masjid is even a blessing from Allah. Allah give us tawfiq, give us understanding. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.